Hey, this Omar and just on here recapping Browns versus Ravens and everything that, followed in the game and whatever. And I guess if you would say probably if Lamar played, then Baltimore probably would have got the game. You know what I'm saying? They Browns defense played well as the Ravens defense played well. The Ravens defense only gave up 13 points, but their offense just, they couldn't really get nothing done. You know what I'm saying? Third down conversions is, a telling of the game. And Browns, they was 5 of 15. And well, I would say third down knowing telling of the game usually, but they both only had five converted third downs. Browns was 5 of 15. Ravens was 5 of 12. They both had 9 drives, and total yards it actually leaned towards Ravens with 324, and the Browns was 283. Time possession though, tilted to the Browns. They had 33 minutes while the Ravens only had it for 26 minutes. But it was Watson's first home game, so you was like, you know, you're just curious how he gonna get received each week. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, it's been like, it ain't really been, too. It don't sound like it. Like I don't know. Like I ain't in the arena, but from what you see on the tube, it don't be seeming like, it's as bad as people was trying to present it like it was going to be for him. You know what I'm saying? Even when that first one in Houston, like, it was like, yeah, a lot of people that was talking that talk, like probably giving it to him, but then it had a lot of cheers, like, surprise. Nah, ain't surprisingly, because Houston fucked with him. He ain't, he wanted to leave for other reasons, but it wasn't because he ain't like the city or whatever. So, hold up. Yeah. So, yeah, it was. I was saying that. I thought it was gonna be worse, but he got a solid ovation. Cleveland want to win. You feel me? And so they definitely got to upgrade with the quarterback. So it's just about a matter of seeing it play out on the field. Yesterday though, it was Deshaun. He had a all right game. I mean, let me take that back. It was kind of bad. It was kind of bad. I was gonna say all right, but he only had 161 yards throwing the ball on 8 of 28, and I mean he had a touchdown, and his rating was 91. So it's yeah. I mean I guess it was good enough as for yesterday, because that was. On the other side, they was even worse passing the ball. But they lean more on the running game. As far as Chubb, he had 21 carries, 99, and Hunt, who's one of the most underutilized running back in the league. Like by him signing with Cleveland, he kind of like he lost like a couple of seasons, man. So I could see why he would want to get traded, because like he ain't gonna be a young man but so long, and it's like he don't really. I can see if they, he in a system like maybe Baltimore or whatever, or even San Fran, or even the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? But the system he in, it's all about Chubb. Unless Chubb get hurt, he ain't really gonna get no touches. You feel me? And so he's explosive enough to where he should be getting a ton of a ton of touches each week. You know what I'm saying? And this week, I mean, he had 4 carries, 24, and then he only caught one pass. So it's like he's real live a non-factor. And so it's hopefully next year he get an opportunity to step and, cause I still remember him from, a couple years back, and that's what it's gonna start sounding like. Like it's gonna be like 4 years removed from when he was that dude or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so he gotta eat. I know it's cool playing close to home, but I think for his career and just to see like, yeah, could I be another, that top guy again? Like he probably gotta go to a system where they gonna run the ball and they gonna feature him, or at least if it's a two-back system, it's more of a 50-50 type of deal. It's not where he at now, it's like a 70-30, 80-20 type of deal, but that's on Hunt and whatever. Cooper, he had 458 and had that 28 yarder was the longest. And Peoples Jones, he had 4 for 31. He had the only touchdown. And Njoku, he had 3 for 28 and on 6 targets. Uh, I mean, like I did a few videos, and Njoku is definitely a guy that's been, I ain't gonna say underutilized, but he just hasn't performed up. He gets hurt a lot, but if you got Njoku, you got Peoples Jones, you got Cooper, then you probably add another receiver. They got a solid ass offense, man. Like they should be putting up more numbers. Like when I seen Watson coming back, I thought they was gonna bump up the numbers. You know what I'm saying? They still running it like as if Brissett, Jacoby could have did the same shit these past few weeks that Watson did. That play that where Watson missed, like the guy was about to sack him and he spun him off. To see now that shit Jacoby can't really do because Jacoby more of a statuist kind of dude where he don't mind getting hit. You feel me? Other dudes kind of want to avoid the pressure, but I guess since he he I guess he his frame because of his frame he I guess he feel he one of them guys, man. Some guys don't mind, like it's certain black dudes when they be a quarterback, they don't mind getting cranked. You feel me? But some dudes be like they want to kind of last in this league and shit, so they kind of want to avoid the pressure or avoid that serious like crack or whatever. But Jacoby ain't like that. But the whole premise of me going on him is just basically the offense is kind of still running like on in a conservative way. I don't know whether they still waiting for Watson to get his groove, and they seeing him in practice, and if he's missing a lot of passes or whatever. But he's still rusty. We ain't really seen that. Okay, yeah, the dude is back or whatever. Like when you remember when Vic came back from the jail shit, it did take him a few. I'm trying to see, was it he came back and it wasn't, it was that, it was it that, I think it was that second season when he had all the training and the reps and minicamp and all that, when he kind of looked like the old Vic or whatever. But that first year, he was still looking a little, like a little, sluggish or whatever, because you got to get your precision back or whatever and your groove. And I mean, he's still working it out. Like, people ain't gonna act like, yeah, the dude you know, been working this whole time. Like, yeah, he been, in practice or before they were saying he could practice. He just got into practice like a few weeks ago. So I say probably getting more towards, week well, we in week 15, right? So probably by week 17 or week 18, we might see a glimpse of that old Deshaun or whatever. But Cleveland definitely gonna be a team. Definitely next year the people gonna have to keep their eye on, especially if they sign certain people. They got a solid enough defense, even though it let them down a few games this year. What they gonna have to do is, they just work on a couple of things, and they'll be able to be in the mix or whatever. As far as yesterday, they had 2 sacks. They had 3 sacks, and that was cool. You know what I'm saying? What's her name? Let me see what Garrett did. Dang, where Garrett at? Yeah. Oh yeah, he Garrett the one, he had a sack and a half. And then dang. I mean, he always the one that's the X factor or whatever. Clowney kind of disappoints because he really supposed to be more than what we be seeing. But I don't know if he like a half speed ass dude or what, but um he definitely supposed to be that a compliment to Gary. I mean, even though he been in the league for a minute, he still can. Well, maybe you know what? I gotta take that back though, because if I gotta say he still, it's possible that maybe he has lost a step because he ain't like having like at least a dry 10. You feel me? Like even if you a vet, dude, as you get older, you might not get double digits, but you supposed to have at least between 5 to 10. You know what I'm saying? That means you at least still you at least beating on one-on-ones and shit, because he ain't getting double no more, because Gary the one getting double. So if he ain't doing that most days, then it's kind of like maybe he done lost some of that, some of that ferociousness that he used to play with. Baltimore, Huntley, he had 138 yards. He had one interception. And running the ball, Dobbins, he been coming back ever since he returned from injury. He had 125 on 13 curries. The 37-yarder was the long. Edwards came in with 7 curries, 55 yards and whatnot. But pass catcher, only dude that, significant was Andrews. He had 3 of 31. Everybody else was, 20s or lower. And that's the thing that they saying, that maybe it might be that you go to Baltimore, you ain't gonna catch the ball like you would like to. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's wrong with Lamar. You feel me? Like if he played, they probably would have won. This another year on the back end where it looks like they might miss the playoff because I don't. Huntley ain't. They got him too bottled in, and then he's not as accurate of a quarterback. Like he's less accurate than Jackson. You feel me? So I don't know. They might gotta rethink this. You feel me? Like sometimes you wanna like have a guy behind you, and you want it to be where your offense don't trail off too much. But sometimes it's like, I mean, I said this earlier the year. Cam would have been the perfect person for Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Or just an offense where they have a running dude, and in case he get hurt, the offense ain't gonna miss a beat though. But they going with Huntley, and Huntley, he's okay. He's serviceable, but serviceable, and I don't know if I'm gonna get wins with him. You feel me? Like you can say, okay, he can run the offense, but as far as getting W's, whenever he in there, he don't really get W's like talking about it. So if you just gonna be real, like, he's a black guy, and maybe they was going with that analogy, like, okay, yeah, since he's black, the athleticism and stuff, like we could still run our jumbo packages and all that shit, but if you just looking at it just from just playing the field or just having a feel for the game, he's never been a dude that's, I'm even surprised sometimes that like, yeah, shit, he's still the backup and shit. Like Baltimore need to think about it, like going forward, even if you have Lamar Jackson as the quarterback, they should get a dude that's a different sort of the guy. You feel me? Like it's all right if they get I guess a white dude in there, like somebody that can have that element of precision passing. And so they might got to think about that, because I don't like if they had, say, a Jimmy G behind them. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like that with the athleticism ain't dead, but he can run the offense a different kind of way. It'd be something to see, like if they offense could look different with a different style of quarterback, especially since they running game be so thorough most of the most years or whatever. But yeah, Huntley's playing for him. I think Baltimore might find themselves slipping out of the playoffs. Like they still got some serious games still coming up, and I don't know if I think they still got another one with Cincinnati. So unless Lamar going to play before the end of the year, it's going to be like and they both them and the Dolphins is like in serious danger of missing the playoffs and shit. And nobody would have thought that like 5 weeks ago, whether, that was the case. But, they definitely could see themselves missing the playoffs again. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say, yeah, Lamar got hurt or whatever. So now Lamar gonna be like, all right, he still want his money. He not gonna get his money. He probably gonna have to go to Dak and the Kirk Cousins route where he gonna have to sign the franchises. And then if he ball out, then he gonna make them the money, the dollar gonna go up heavier. So, that's probably the play he gonna have to do. And then, if all else fails, if they don't want to pay him, he can max out like in the next 2 or 3 years if he do franchise 2 years in a row. So, they gonna have to really like really think about the direction they want to go as far as like an offense and, especially with Lamar and his injury history and whatnot. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. All right, thanks for listening.